Coming up on this episode of Coordinated.
We should make a movie. I can see it now. An underappreciated AP coordinator, moonlighting as a detective, zooming from one side of campus to the other on her motorcycle. Greetings, AP coordinators. Welcome to Season 4 of Coordinated.
And welcome to a new school year. Season 4 of Coordinated will help ensure it begins on a high note for AP coordinators.
I'll provide step-by-step guidance, navigating from initial planning at the start of the school year through setup of AP registration and ordering, student enrollment in class sections, all the way through the final ordering deadline in mid-November. Those are just some of the highlights. We have a lot to cover.
And I, along with other AP coordinators, all share some of our favorite tips and tricks that have helped us more efficiently manage our AP programs.
Derek Cometa here, former AP coordinator, now Director AP Coordinator Experience for the AP program.
And I'm Rachel McBride, AP Coordinator and School Counselor at Mayfield High School. Welcome to the podcast for AP coordinators.
Welcome to Coordinated.
Hello, AP coordinators. My name is Claire Lorenz, and I'm on the AP instruction team at the College Board. Over the past several years, we've had the chance to work with amazing AP teachers and higher education faculty members to create resources that support instruction and learning in all AP courses. AP teachers have access to these resources through AP Classroom. Thanks to feedback from teachers and students, we've made it easier than ever for AP teachers to use AP Classroom in the 2021-2022 school year. Each course is now organized into clear categories. Course resources are aligned to course content and skills and include AP daily videos, topic questions, and progress checks. The question bank allows teachers to build custom assessments for their students. My Assignments stores all assignments in one place, so they can be easily accessed for planning and review. And My Reports can help teachers identify areas where students demonstrate strength and areas where they might need a little more support. Please help us support AP students by encouraging AP teachers at your school to check out all AP Classroom has to offer. Teachers can easily access the instructional resources by logging in at myap.collegeboard.org. And for more insights and best practices for using AP Classroom, there are videos on our AP Educators YouTube channel that can be watched anytime, anywhere. We'll put a link in the show notes of this episode for you to share. We hope you'll help us spread the word about how AP Classroom resources can support student learning. Take care, and thank you for all you do.
Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Derek. So it's pretty clear to me, even over Zoom, that you're having a good day. You're smiling, you look excited. What's the deal?
I am excited about this episode. Thanks for noticing. I'm feeling a little nostalgic, like I'm back in school again. I miss that bell ringing, telling us it's time for the next class. I also miss the sense of completion after finishing each AP coordinator task. Just a preference of mine. I'm a happy person when I have a checklist completed.
I can certainly relate. Good to celebrate each victory along the way. They give us that energy to keep going.
So let's talk about one of those AP coordinator tasks that, for many, involves a checklist. Track and chase. A term that I love, one that I picked up at an AP coordinator workshop. An AP coordinator we know, Mark Helgeson, used this term and it really stuck in my head.
Track and chase, I like it. We'll be detectives today. Remember my English teacher background. I'm sure you're familiar with Arthur Conan Doyle, the famous author. Derek, I'm definitely Sherlock Holmes, and you can be Watson.
Let's see how this episode goes, and perhaps we can negotiate roles. Before we dive in, let's take a deep breath and review where we are in our Steps to Success start of the school year timeline.
Right. We've actually covered quite a bit. We started back in episode 68 with a conversation around initial planning.
Then we talked about access codes and setup,
Followed by default or advanced.
the exam decision indicator setting,
Then we moved right into class sections, student accounts, and join codes.
That brought us to our most recent episode, episode 74, Student Enrollment.
Exactly. Student enrollment in their class sections so that students can get immediate access to AP Classroom instructional resources, and I can start to manage and prepare my school's AP exam order. Student enrollment, this is all good stuff.
Great for AP students, for AP teachers, and for AP coordinators as well.
Absolutely.
And timing-wise, track and chase comes into view after initial student enrollment in class sections has begun. The student enrollment process has started. Likely the detective work, as you called it, Rachel, begins closer to the end of this process.
Yes, so many schools, depending on when the school started, are just wrapping this up now. The truth, Derek, regardless of how organized we are, how well executed our plans are, despite everyone's best efforts, there is usually a small handful of students who require the, quote, track and chase special care.
Right. So to be clear, we're talking about students who attend AP classes at my school, students who are attending class in person, but are not enrolled in their online class sections. They're not showing up in AP Classroom. They're not showing up in AP registration and ordering. They're not enrolled.
Exactly. It could be these students just somehow missed the message to enroll or are having challenges following through, or it's possible something is up with their student account that requires attention. Or they could be, procrastinating. I hear it can be common amongst teenagers.
Oh, no, not that. I can't believe that. That doesn't happen.
That's crazy talk. I mean, I never procrastinated as a teen.
Right. Of course not. So how about if I first describe how to start this detective work? It all begins by finding a list of students who have not yet enrolled in their online class sections. Then follow up with some track and chase best practices.
Sounds like a plan, Watson.
Okay. So figuring out which students to follow up with, sorry to disappoint, this really does not take a professional detective. There are actually two common options. The first is acquiring rosters by AP course. The second is acquiring rosters by AP student. With either option, we also need a list of students from our SIS, our Student Information System, to compare it to.
Right. From there, I assume we start an AP registration and ordering on the courses page.
Correct. We do for the first option. That's acquiring rosters by courses. After class sections have been created, we can go to the courses page. Again, our goal is to make sure all students are enrolled in their class sections, so we click the course name to view a list of students enrolled in all sections for the course. Or click the section name to view a list of students enrolled in the specific class section. That list might match up with the class rosters from your school's SIS, potentially making the cross-checking easier.
Got it. That's one way to do it. And you mentioned another way, by student?
Right. Some find the students page in AP registration and ordering. They find that page to be helpful with this track and chase task. On the students page, we can see all students who are enrolled. We can also use the courses filter to segment student rosters. Many ways to do this, Rachel. For small numbers of students, some prefer to do this visually on screen. For larger numbers, many use the filters and the download student roster tool or the download filtered student roster tool.
All right, Derek, my turn. That's how to get the rosters to see which students still have not enrolled in their class sections. Now it's time for the track and chase plan.
Please share, Sherlock.
Thank you. Here's my version of a track and chase plan. 1, I directly email the students who still have not yet enrolled. I provide a join code in the email and attach a PDF of the one-page student guide. I give them a deadline.
1, email the student.
2, if the student does not respond to my email and take action to enroll, I forward my email to the parent and ask the parent to assist in making this happen. This is generally pretty effective. I don't have many students on my list after that.
2, email parent, encourage their assistance.
Right. 3, I continue to track and chase. At this point, I politely request that the AP teacher follow up with the student since they see them more frequently and I don't want to have to pull them from class.
3, AP teachers can be extremely helpful.
Yes, and 4, for those rare stragglers, I do end up calling them out of class and have them come see me. They do not leave my office until it's done. This is where sometimes I find that they have a student account challenge and could use some guidance, which I'm happy to provide.
So 4th and final step, called into the office with Sherlock Holmes.
Rarely necessary, but always effective.
Of course. And Rachel, I think that gets us to really our final goal. We can now confirm initial student enrollment is complete.
Yes, a moment to celebrate, my dear Watson. I personally like to take the scenic route as I ride home on my motorcycle. Then I curl up on my couch, grab something fun to read, like a good detective novel, or even better,
The AP Coordinator's Manual, Part 1.
You know me so well. Always a coordinator's go-to source for step-by-step guidance. And I've been known to say, a coordinator's best friend.
And now, AP coordinators, now it's time to gear up for our newest segment. It's something we're calling On the Road with Rachel. And you might be asking, Derek, what road are we on? Why? It's the road to success, of course.
That's right. We've been steering coordinators along this road with step-by-step guidance. Now it's time to accelerate a bit. And share some tips and best practices from experienced AP coordinators.
All right, Rachel, before you cruise on home to curl up and read the AP Coordinator's Manual, do you have time to share some insider knowledge? I don't want you speeding home, no speeding tickets here, even if you are the Sherlock Holmes version of an AP coordinator today.
I'm good, Derek. I'll go easy on the throttle.
Excellent. Well, I think this will be quick. Earlier, we talked about the Download Student Roster tool in AP Registration and Ordering. We said it would provide a list of students to cross-check against our SIS rosters for student enrollment purposes.
Right, but it's a lot more than that, a lot more powerful than that.
You are reading my mind. Download Student Roster does give us that list. It also provides a lot more data.
I think that's my cue.
Yes, that's your cue.
Okay, so Download Student Roster also includes grade level, school code, student email address, AP ID, school student ID, the date the student enrolled in a class section, student fee reduction status, the student's exam registration for their class section or exam-only section, that's yes, no, or undecided, and even more information on exam dates, fees, and SSD if applicable.
Yes, much more. See the AP Coordinator's Manual, Part 1, page 73 for a complete list. Rachel, this has been fun today. I like the detective theme and the motorcycles. We should make a movie. I can see it now. An underappreciated AP coordinator, moonlighting as a detective, zooming from one side of campus to the other on her motorcycle, tracking and chasing students to get them enrolled in their class sections. Academy Award-winning material. What actress should we cast to play you?
Oh man, Derek, your imagination has gone wild. I don't know which actress to choose. That would be a difficult one.
It would clearly be someone who shines very brightly.
And here it comes.
Because in my book, you and all AP coordinators are...
I'll finish it. Good as gold.
Season 4 of Coordinated is co-authored and co-hosted by Derek Cometa and Rachel McBride. Derek also records, produces, and engineers the show. Our executive producer is Edward Biederman. Our podcast logo is courtesy of the amazingly talented Amy O. Amy is enjoying her senior year at Savannah Arts Academy. We thank Jackie Ray for our theme song, Good as Gold. Jackie is a former AP Music Theory student at Oakton High School. Additional vocal support by Carly Suge, AP Coordinator at Costa Mesa High School in Southern California.
And a special thanks to all my colleagues in the AP program for supporting the show and spending time with us. And AP coordinators, we cannot say it enough. Thank you. We appreciate you, and for all your support of AP students, you are truly good as gold.
And maybe I just don't know. I'll say it over and over and over again till I believe it's so. I'm good as gold.